So the first thing I'm going to do, close my treat bag. I'm going to click and then treat. And I'm going to do this 5 times. I want him to make the association, and I made a mistake by bringing the clicker out. It's the sound I want him familiar with. All right, I said 5, but I'm doing close to 10. So now I'm going to put my clicker up on my arm. I'm going to get the treats right there so we can't get to them. And let's get that way. There we go. And I'm just going to put my hand right here and see if I can get him, hopefully. Nope, he didn't do it. So I'm going to keep it. So I don't know if you could see what happened right there. Let me get him back around. I've got the treats in there, and here, right there. You didn't see it. So I got the treat in my hand. When he puts his paw on, I'm clicking and just letting go. What I want to build towards, and I'm putting my hand up like that. There's a lot of this that's sloppy, but he's not having a problem with my sloppiness. But he's not realizing that I'm just dropping the treat right out of that hand right there. So now that I have him pawing at my fist for the treat, even though there's not a treat in there, I just delayed about a count of 2 that time. But instead of having the treats in my hand now, I have just closed my fist, because that gets his curiosity up and he's pawing at it. Our objective with this is that we want to have an open paw. I want to try to get him to lay his paw in my open palm. And I'm going to give him about a count of 5 here. So since he came over and inspected my hand, even though it was just his nose sniffing, I want him focusing on my hand. So I went ahead and clicked right there, also to get him to re-engage with me. Hi. You can stop. Okay, so we've switched people now, and the goal, my goal would be our first big step is that he will put his paw into an open hand. And nicely done, Cameron. And actually it's a great move the way you did it, because you started with the fist closed, and then you, as he started going to it, you had rolled it out, and that was perfect. I wish I had thought of that. This is why it's always good to have multiple people, or while you can both work with Tigger on this, because everybody's body language is going to be a little bit different, and we'll see it in a different way. And as you can tell, he's really, so she's fist, and she's opening her fingers as his paw comes up.
That's okay. Reset.
All right, we're going again.
Oh, he saw me not have anything in my hand.
And let's keep it there for about 10 seconds, or to a count of 10.
Nope. Oops, sorry, bud. Did not get it
What
to the
we
treat bag.
also want is to get to the point where the only time he gets a treat is if he touches the hand. This is our first time of doing this with Tigger, so he really has no idea what we're trying to get him to do. But if you notice, when Cameron puts her hand out, and I hope I did the same in mine, the hand isn't moving around to encourage him. We want him to discover that that's what he's got to be involved with to trigger the treat delivery. So that was just a nose. He's not going to get anything for that, because that wasn't a paw. Only putting the paw is going to get the treat. I would have clicked that. And that's
Yeah,
all right.
I-
But from
I
a
was
but,
like,
but that was a good point. That even we do this all the time, we still will miss those moments of clicking like that. It is better to click too often than not enough. And I would probably only do about 10 times on a repetition with this, probably no more than once an hour. But that's just a ballpark. You may find in the home that he responds much better, or maybe doesn't respond as well. A little break, and he started becoming more interested again in our hands, like, hey, when are we going to start playing the game again? So because this is a guideline for you guys, we're actually progressing quicker than we would in a session like this, because we're going to try to go more and more for that delay, just so you can see an example of what we're talking about. And he is easily distracted here at the shelter environment, as you can see. And at home, he's probably not going to be this distracted.
Come back around your way. At least he was. That was a little slow on that one.
No, don't get the toy.
Tigger. Good job. And one of the things that I'm doing for when his paw is fully in my hand, giving bonus treats to try and create that core. Did you just puke that up?
And we call that a jackpot. He gets 1, then 2, then 3, and then he throws them up and gets to eat them again. We call that a twofer. In that case, it was a fiver. That was pretty sick, but this is the stuff that can happen when you're doing training and working with these things like that.
He's a good boy.